Welcome back to B Mills Wrestling. In today's video, I'm going to be tier ranking each and every one of the WrestleMania 41 matches. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss any new uploads. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so as you guys can see, we have 4 tiers set up right here. The best one being excellent, and then we have good, okay, and the worst one being awful. So the first match we are going to be talking about and the build we're going to be talking about is Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, which is sadly not happening at WrestleMania anymore due to Kevin Owens' apparent neck injury, which he just had surgery for, and he is going to be out for the foreseeable future. So I'm just going to rank this feud based on what we saw already in the build-up before Kevin announced his injury. And that dates back to obviously when Kevin Owens took out Randy Orton for months with a pile driver, brought out the banned move, took out Orton for months. Orton would eventually come back at Elimination Chamber to attack Kevin Owens after KO's match with Sammy. You would have Randy give Kevin Owens an RKO, and then Randy tease bringing back the punt kick, which so many people have wanted him to bring back, and just kind of teasing everyone about returning to that '09 Orton form. So I thought it was really good, right? Obviously, we were going to get the return of the punt kick at WrestleMania, but now I don't think we will because Randy's opponent is probably going to be Solo or Nick Aldis. Neither of them are probably going to get punt kicked at WrestleMania because if you're going to get a move that hasn't been seen for years, it's going to have to be special, right? And Randy versus Kevin, that was going to be special. It was going to be a great match. The feud, like I said, dates months back. And then obviously before that, they were best friends. So the storyline was just so great. And I was super excited for the match. And I honestly feel like if Kevin didn't get hurt, this would probably be in the excellent category. But since it got cut short, I'm just going to throw it in good. Not knocking on the feud whatsoever. It's just a shame that Kevin got hurt. The next match we have is the undisputed WWE Championship match, which is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I want to put this in excellent, but it just hasn't been excellent to me. Obviously, the heel turn was crazy. So out of the blue, no one saw it coming, which made it great, made it even better. But after that, we didn't really see Cena on TV for a couple weeks, and everyone was like, okay, when are we getting John Cena? We finally got him. I think it was in Brussels, Belgium. He returned for 3 consecutive Raws. In those first 2 episodes of Raw, he just talked to the crowd. He kind of just complained to the crowd of why they don't deserve him. They were never nice to him, and that he's going to ruin wrestling. But we didn't get an interaction really between him and Cody. We had Cody talk to Cena, but we didn't have Cena talk to Cody until the 3rd week of that overseas trip. They were in London, and we finally had Cena and Cody exchange words where they really did cook each other on the mic. That was the most entertaining part of their feud so far, in my opinion. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But we haven't seen Cena since then. John Cena has been MIA, hasn't been on the last episode of SmackDown or Raw. He is expected to be on the final SmackDown before WrestleMania. But I just feel like 4 appearances between the Chamber and Mania isn't enough. Especially if you're in the Night 2 main event competing for the WWE Championship, the most important match there is, the most important title there is in the world. You got to show up more. And I know he's filming movies, but this is your retirement tour, man. You got to show up more for your fans. Because we're not going to see John Cena after December. So I really would have liked to see Cena more. I hope what they do on SmackDown is really good to really elevate this feud. I hope it's just not same old stuff that they've been doing. But I think that it deserves to be in the good category. I feel like it could be excellent. But like I said, Cena hasn't shown up as much. We don't know why he exactly sold out to The Rock in the first place. What does he need? What does he benefit from selling out to The Rock? We don't know because he won't tell us why. The Rock won't show up. So I just don't feel like this feud can go into the excellent tier just because of that. The next match we have is Io Sky defending her Women's World Championship against both Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. And I have loved this feud so far. The way that all 3 of these women have been intertwined with each other, with Bianca winning the Elimination Chamber and Io beating Rhea for the world title. We were supposed to get Io versus Bianca, but obviously we know that was not going to be the match. We knew we were getting a triple threat, so now it was, how can you incorporate Rhea into this match? Well, you have Rhea complain about Bianca, say she costed her the match, she's jealous of her, she doesn't think she can beat her, so she took the easy way out. Their feud alone has been great, and then they've mixed in Io really well by kind of having Rhea and Bianca disrespect her and kind of push her to the side. You see them just pushing Io, and then Io just having enough of it. Io saying, "I'm the world champ. Like, you have to respect me. I'm the champion in this match." And I just think they've done a really good job of developing all their characters and making them have a great storyline with each other. So I think that this feud belongs in the excellent tier. I have really liked the way they've booked this match so far. Next match we have is the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship, which is Dominic Mysterio going against his teammate in Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, and Penta. I have loved this feud as well. I think the storyline has been great. All the guys have been intertwined with each other. With Braun Breaker's issues with the Judgment Day, Penta's had issues with the Judgment Day. Dom wanted to add Penta to the Judgment Day. And then, obviously, the biggest storyline within this match is Dom and Finn being in the Judgment Day together. I obviously expect them to be teaming up most of this match, but I do think this is where we get the Dom turn on Finn, sending Finn away for months, and then Dom becoming the Intercontinental Champion. So I've loved the way they've built this feud up. Every week we're getting chaos between these four. We're getting crazy spears from Braun Breaker. Just great matches in general between guys like Penta, Dom, and Finn, Braun, whoever's in the match together. I've just loved the way Triple H has booked this. I also think this is in the excellence here. I'm super excited for this match. The next match we have is Tiffany Stratton defending her WWE Women's Championship against the Royal Rumble winner, Charlotte Flair. This feud's been messy. I'll say that. It has been messy. Obviously, they've went off script in promos. It seems like Charlotte is just trying to bury Tiffany. And Tiffany's she's not going for that. She's standing up for herself, which, by the way, good for Tiffany. But as for the brawls that they've had, I've really liked the brawls that they've had together. We had Charlotte attack Tiffany in the parking lot, which I think was a good touch. Kind of like the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, or Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, the heel turn from Kevin Owens when he attacked him and there weren't any WWE cameras in sight. It was just relying on the fans to record. So they did that again. I thought that was good. And like I said, the brawls they had have been really good. And I don't want to put this in awful just because I think the realness of the feud makes it better than awful. I think it makes it okay. Because now you're going into this match and you're getting excited because you're like, wow, I don't think these two like each other whatsoever. Because I don't think they like each other. I think that's very obvious with the stuff that they're saying about Ludwig Kaiser being in Charlotte's DMs and Tiffany bringing up the divorces Charlotte's had. So I think they don't like each other, and I think that makes this match okay. I'm pretty excited for it just because of that reason. The next match we have is the War Raiders defending their World Tag Team Championships against the New Day. This is going to be the first one I put in the awful category because I have not been a fan of this match whatsoever, or this feud, I should say. It's a disgrace that this is on the WrestleMania card instead of the Street Profits and the SmackDown division. We should have got a ladder match for the SmackDown division. That's a talk for another day, but this match makes no sense. The feud has been for about 2 weeks, I think. A couple weeks ago, they had a match, obviously, for the titles. The New Day ended it in a DQ by hitting them with chairs, and then last week they had a couple of promos for each side, but just so bad. Like, I don't care about this match at all. This feud has just been so boring. It just feels so forced, and I don't think we need it. Is this just an excuse to get the New Day on the card? Because they've had enough WrestleManias. I don't think they need to be on WrestleMania. They've booked them horribly since their heel turn. You had a crazy heel turn on Big E, and they've done nothing with it. They've been boring. Every week they're cutting the same promo. I'm just sick of it. And I just think it's a disgrace that this match is even on the WrestleMania card, especially when you're thinking about the other matches that could have been on the card. So yeah, this goes in awful. The next match we have is Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I think this has been okay. I think it's been okay because it dates back to a couple months ago when Chad Gable was having troubles with luchadors, that being Rey Mysterio and Penta. he just couldn't beat them. So, he had to go on this quest to find this guy to help him learn the secrets of luchador wrestling. Obviously, he gets the new mask and becomes El Grande Americano. Still hasn't been revealed yet, but he's been dominating the luchadors on Raw ever since. So I think it's been okay. It's more of a funny storyline than a serious one, like most of these are. But I've really enjoyed it, and it's not like it's a last-minute thrown-together match. I think we all can agree on that. And we all know the match is going to be great itself. I do think that Chad will get unmasked, and it'll be revealed that it's him. But I've been a fan of it. I think it's been okay. The next match we have is AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Yeah, this one's going in the awful category as well. Oh my god, it's been booked horribly. I don't even understand why they're feuding with each other. I don't think anybody does. Obviously, you had Logan eliminate AJ from the Royal Rumble a couple months back, but that hasn't been in any of the promos that they've been cutting. And obviously, Logan eliminated AJ in a clean way. Logan was still in the Rumble. It's not like Logan got eliminated by AJ and then took out AJ after he was already eliminated. That, I feel like, could have been better because you could have had somewhat of a storyline. Now we're just kind of stuck with, I don't even know what. I don't know why they're feuding. We just had, I think Logan interrupted AJ in a backstage interview that he was having with Kathy Kelly, and then say, "Oh, I'll see you in the ring next week, and we'll talk." I just don't understand. It's so forced. I wish it was AJ was involved in the IC title match with Braun Breaker, because they were building that like very well, and then they just went away from it. And then I think this is just the excuse to get them on the card, which they do both deserve to be on WrestleMania. And this will be an excellent match. Let me point that out there. The match itself will be great, but the feud, non-existent. The next match we have is the United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. This one, not too much of a storyline there. It's not bad enough to be in the awful category, so I think it's good in the okay category, just because, like, we've seen interactions in the past between them, because LA Knight's been kind of feuding with the Bloodline over on SmackDown for a little bit. It's not the most consistent feud, but it's been there. But as for LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu itself, it hasn't been built good enough, and feels so last minute to me. I would have preferred a ladder match at WrestleMania with like Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Braun Strowman, but this match, it feels kind of forced, and I know that with the star power Jacob Fatu has, like what he has become over this last year since debuting, how over he's gotten with the fans, he does deserve a WrestleMania match. He is single-handedly overshadowed Solo Sikoa. And I don't think anybody expected that, or anybody in WWE expected that. So Jacob Fatu does deserve a big match at WrestleMania, so I'm glad he is getting it. I just wish they would have booked this feud a little better. The next match we have is Jade Cargill going against Naomi. And this is going to be the first non-title match that I throw in the excellent category. I think it's been booked really good. We obviously had Naomi attack Jade a few months back, and then it wouldn't get revealed until later on when Jade would make her return at the Elimination Chamber. She would take out Naomi, force her to not be able to compete in the match, and then we would just have this incredible Naomi heel turn. I've really been loving the character work that Naomi has been doing. I didn't think it was going to work at first, if I'm being honest with you, but it really has. She's done such a good job of it. The promos she's cutting, the substance she's speaking with, the look she's going with, like, it's been really good. And I think Jade is finally going to blossom into this single superstar that WWE wants her to be. Obviously, she was in the tag division last year with Bianca, but now you get to finally see a singles Jade. So I'm so excited for it. I think they've done a really good job with the feud. Just, Naomi ultimately being kind of jealous of Jade's relationship with Bianca and saying that should have been her, calling her a snake, like all things like that. It's been really well put together. I haven't gotten bored of it. Every week they've done something better than the last week, and that's just how you make great feuds. So yeah, I think it's excellent. The next match we have is Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. I'm not a fan of the match itself, just because I wanted Drew McIntyre to be involved in a bigger storyline, which I think he deserves, like CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I think he should be involved in that match, if I'm being honest with you. Or just a world title match, maybe in the Gunther and Jey Uso match. But it sucks that he's getting stuck with this match. No hate to Damian Priest. I just don't think Damian Priest is main event status whatsoever. So I don't like Drew McIntyre having to be in this match with him. But I will say it makes sense because the feud goes back to last year at WrestleMania 40 when we had Damian Priest cash in on Drew McIntyre, ending his short title reign of just 5 minutes and 46 seconds. And then we would have the rematch at Clash of the Castle, Drew's hometown in Scotland. We would have CM Punk interfere in the match, cost Drew. Priest would pin Priest again. Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre wins that. He tries to cash in the same night against Damian Priest, but CM Punk costs him again. Damian Priest pins Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest pins Drew McIntyre 3 times in a row in 2024. And then obviously he eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. And then in the Chamber, we would see him also eliminate Drew McIntyre. So he has pinned McIntyre 4 times since last year and eliminated him from the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that's a lot of hate built up for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, this heel character that he's done such a good job of playing. So yeah, obviously he was going to be heated at Damian Priest. So it does make sense. But at the same time, I wish he was involved in something better. But as for the storyline that they've been telling, the story that they've been telling, it's not been bad. It's not been bad at all. I think they've had good interactions. The brawl that they just had with Drew taking out Priest, and then they had the previous week where Drew got chokeslammed out of the car by Damian Priest, got glass in his eye. So they've had some good moments in this feud. So I think it belongs in the in the okay category. Sorry, in the okay category, because it's not been awful. I think it definitely could be a little better, but it's fine. It's fine where it is. The next match we have is the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending those titles against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in awful. Makes no sense. Plain and simple. Bayley and Lyra being a tag team makes no sense. They just fought each other for the Intercontinental Championship a couple weeks ago. And then they're all of a sudden a tag team in the gauntlet match the same week on SmackDown. I don't understand it. This is, once again, just an excuse to get both women on the card. And I firmly agree that they deserve to be on the card. But they should be fighting each other for the women's IC title to give that title more prestige as it's defended at WrestleMania. We're obviously not going to have Chelsea Green defend her title at WrestleMania either. So they just have done a bad job with the women's mid-card. And this feud's just been boring and doesn't make sense. I just can't put it above awful because I just don't understand it. And it's just so last minute thrown together. The whole women's tag division is just a mess, just like the women's mid-card. Just bringing back tag teams that haven't been on screen in 2 months and then forming random new tag teams. I don't know. They should have built this match earlier than they did, and I think Liv Morgan especially deserves better. I would have preferred Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania. We're obviously not getting Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania, which stinks, but I would have much rather preferred that, or just a well-built-up tag match with an actual tag team and not Lyra and Bayley. The next match we have is Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and this feud, obviously, it started off really bad, if we're being honest. It was so stale. Every week, it was the same stuff of Jey Uso in a match. Jey wins the match. Gunther comes out after, puts him in a sleeper. It got really boring, and honestly, for a lot of that time, it was definitely in the awful category, 100%. Even if it's a world title match, it was awful. But since they incorporated Jimmy Uso into this storyline, it has gotten its way up to good, in my opinion. I think it's good. Just with Jimmy telling Jey he's not himself, saying he wants to see the old Jey Uso, the right-hand man Jey Uso, the champion Jey Uso. And then, obviously, you have the Jimmy and Gunther match where Gunther ends up just beating the hell out of Jimmy, bloodying him up, tying Jey Uso to the rope, forcing Jey to watch his brother get beat down. That was when this feud just took off, right? So I think it took off from awful to good, in my opinion. And now we're getting a more serious side of Jey Uso, not eating and just talking about his family and what he's going to do to Gunther, and that he's going to be turned into a different man, and that he's not afraid of Gunther anymore. And then, for Gunther's side, he's cut an amazing promo on the last episode of Raw, saying he doesn't give a damn about Jey Uso, that he's going to destroy him, have his blood on his hands, and he's going to enjoy doing it. This whole sinister version of Gunther has been so fun to watch. I wish they would have used this version of him earlier in his title reign. that would have benefited him hugely. But yeah, I am excited for this match. I wasn't excited for it a few weeks ago, but ever since they incorporated Jimmy into this storyline, I've definitely gotten more hype for it. Brings us to our final match, which is the Night 1 main event between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. This has been an excellent feud, so we're throwing that into the excellent category. Such a well-built match. And in my opinion, it's the best built match on this entire card. No title involved, and it's still the best built match. Just the way that they have intertwined all of these superstars with each other. Obviously, you have Seth's hatred for Roman, his hatred for CM Punk, CM Punk's hatred for Seth Rollins, and then the storyline between Punk and Roman, with Punk helping Roman at War Games, getting that favor from Paul Heyman, and now Punk looking to have Heyman in his corner at WrestleMania instead of Roman. That obviously ties together, and that makes them hate each other. And now, how do you get Seth Rollins involved in that? Other than his pure hatred for the man, how do you get him involved in that? Well, they have him almost take out Paul Heyman and try to tell Paul Heyman, like, take yourself out of the equation. You don't need to be there in anyone's court at WrestleMania. Roman hasn't done anything for you. He doesn't care about you. He didn't save you when the bloodline, the Timu bloodline was destroying you. Punk didn't save you. So he was throwing out some really good points, and I love how they've gotten him involved in this storyline. With just the hatred aside with the Paul Heyman storyline. I thought they've done a really good job with that. And it's making people think, okay, will Paul Heyman walk out with Seth Rollins at the end of WrestleMania? Is that an actual thing that could happen? I think it definitely could. So, this match is so unpredictable. You don't know who's going to win it. And just the whole Paul Heyman favor and just everything he's brought to this storyline has been so good, has made everyone so excited for this match. And I think that it has been the most well-built match, in my opinion. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Don't forget to leave a comment down below of your guys' WrestleMania 41 predictions. And let me know down in the comments as well if you guys agreed with any of my tier rankings. Alright, see you in the next one.